Live and exclusive. The Valley Radio Online. The new voice for community radio in the Bridgnorth area. Giving you a voice, keeping you informed.
There are few people who can claim to have a higher intelligence quotient than Albert Einstein, Bill Gates, and Stephen Hawking, who, with a score of around 160, are venerated around the world as exceptional thinkers. However, a local 11-year-old girl, Victoria Cowie, has surpassed all three with a score of 162, which places her in the world's top 1% in terms of intelligence. Valley Radio reporter Nikki Brown caught up with Victoria at her home in Shropshire and asked her about the Mensa test and all about the media attention.
So, good morning, Victoria. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Lovely to meet you on
you.
a lovely spring day. I mean, for our listeners out there, what we'd like to know is, what is it like to achieve a higher IQ score than some of the world's smartest adults, such as Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking and Bill Gates?
It's really exciting, and it's also quite nerve-wracking as well.
Absolutely. It's sort of this whole sort of media attention, but it's exciting, isn't it?
Yes. It's scary, but it's also really exciting, because it's good fun being on the radio, live television and things like that. But it's also really nerve-wracking, because you're thinking, what am I going to say, what am I going to say?
Brilliant. So when did you first notice that you had an intelligent mind?
When I was doing all the senior school exams, when I got 4 scholarships and entry to Mensa with 162, then I knew I was clever. But before that, when I was 3, I had a reading age of 7, and I could read signs backwards and things. But to me that was normal, so I didn't think I was clever then. I just thought I was normal.
But you kind of knew at sort of that age that you could do these things like read backwards, read signs backwards and stuff like that. That's fantastic. So Victoria, can you tell us a little bit about the Mensa test for our viewers and listeners out there, that don't know anything about it? Where do you go to have your test, and what's it like?
There's different venues for you to take the test at different times, and I went to the Birmingham venue, and the test was really hard.
And how long was the test?
It's about 2 hours.
Okay, and what type of, how does it get your brain thinking? What type of questions do they ask you? What type of format do they use to test your intelligence?
They've got picture questions where you have to work out what would go in that box and things like that. And then they've got verbal questions where you have to do that is to that, as that is to whatever. And I had to sit the adult test, and the picture questions, you have to do about 25 questions in 3 minutes.
Wow, so there's a bit of a time pressure on there as well.
Yes.
You've got to be quick, you can't sort of sit there and think about it. It's all what's your brain thinking straight away.
Yes, it's really hard.
And were there some questions that you couldn't answer? And you moved on, or did you go back and fill them in?
I looked at them, and then if I couldn't do them, I moved on. Then I went back to them at the end and filled them in.
So do you have a good memory? Do you have a memory that's retentive, so you remember things really well?
I do remember things, it just depends whether I want to. So sometimes I forget to bring my homework home.
Absolutely selective memory then.
Yes.
Absolutely. So do you find school and study easy, or are there some subjects you find harder than others?
Well, I find PE, gym, things like that hard, and art, painting things. But I'm alright at most subjects like maths, English, science, things like that.
Do you enjoy, what's your most favourite subject?
Science.
Science. And which particular part of science? Because you've got biology and physics and...
In primary school you only have the one science, but because I've been trying for taste days at some of the schools, I think I'm going to really like biology because I want to be a vet.
Which one do you feel allows you to be the most expressive?
Well, I like drama but I also like music. And I do enjoy dance as well. The one that probably allows me to be most creative is drama, because I can become a different person and express my feelings as that person, which is very good fun.
Absolutely. So just tell us a little bit about your music and you play how many instruments?
I play 5 instruments: the piano, the cello, the descant recorder, the treble recorder, and the saxophone.
Wow, that's a lot of puff you need. Is there anyone that you're particularly better at than the others?
I love recorder, but I've been playing piano for the longest, then cello, then descant recorder, then treble and saxophone together.
Would you like to do something in the future with your music, or do you like it just as a hobby at the moment?
Just as a hobby, really.
Lovely. Who in the world inspires you the most? Who do you aspire to be like, or who's your favourite person in the world?
I like the Bionic Vet.
Excellent.
Because I like the work that he does and how he helps animals in human ways, so the animals get human treatment, really. He repairs limbs by putting an implant in, or he uses a metal limb and puts it in the dog or whatever animal it is to repair it, and then he can make the dog walk again.
Brilliant. Excellent. Do you enjoy spending your time mostly with other children, right, or of your own age, or do you like spending time with adults, or do you like more solitary pursuits?
I like spending time with my friends at school, and I also like playing with them. So probably children of my own age rather than adults and other things like that.
Yeah, you've got time for all of that to hang around with us adults later on. As an 11-year-old, how do you view the world and society today? What's your view on the general world today, with what's going on in the world and the news? What sort of thoughts do you have about that?
I don't think people should be causing wars, because I think Mother Nature is causing enough destruction without humans making more of it.
Absolutely, good answer. Is there anything you'd like to see change in the world or the way mankind lives? What would you like us humans to change?
I'd like us all to be friends together and not have the wars.
Brilliant. So how do you think you could use this brilliant intelligence that you've got to help others?
Because I want to be a vet, I think being quite intelligent will help me on that road.
Definitely. It's quite a hard study course by what I know. What areas of your life do you show the most confidence? Where do you feel most happy and yourself? And when you're playing your music or you're dancing or?
I like playing music, and I also like playing on the trampoline and having fun. But I also enjoy school and working as well.
Do you love to use your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Now, as you've said, you have a big passion and love for animals, and you've had thoughts about wanting to become a vet. What's your favourite animal?
I love dogs because I've got a dog, and I think all dogs are really cute, even Rottweilers and things like that.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. What do you think about the way animals are treated by mankind in general?
I don't think it's very nice how some animals are made to work if they don't think they should be working. But I think most people are kind to their animals. So.
Brilliant. So you want to be a vet, but sort of what area would you most likely to help animals? How would you like to help them?
I'd just like to help them get better and be happier in their homes and around people.
Brilliant. Would you say you have a natural communication with animals? Do they tend to come to you more than others? If you're in the room, do you just have that natural association with them?
Well, lots of animals come over and see me because I've got some cats that come round, but they're not actually ours. And then I've got some dogs. Well, I've got a dog, and then there's some dogs up the road. And then if they're out with their owner, they come over and see me and things like that.
Is there anything you're afraid of or fear? Any fears like spiders or anything like that?
Not really. I love spiders. I pick them up and put them outside bare hands. So
excellent. So you love all the creatures of the planet. Brilliant. Now, I know you're a big Doctor Who fan as well.
Yes.
This is a question to think about. Where would you most, if you could go into Doctor Who's TARDIS, where would you most like to go in the world, and what kind of adventures would you like to have?
I'd like to meet all the monsters like the Daleks and Slovene. So I'd like to probably go to the Pandorica box, and then I could hopefully defeat all Doctor Who's enemies.
Yeah, I like it. Especially with those Daleks. Those Daleks used to scare me as a kid. Well, it's been lovely talking to you today. Thank you, Victoria. We really here at the Valley, we hope and wish you the best in the future and success. We'll be following everything that you're doing and looking at, how you progress and grow through your teams and follow what you're doing. So thank you, Victoria. It's lovely to talk to you.